Hey guys, what's up? It's Schla coming back to ya with another episode of Walks with Schla. And well, today I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, and we may just be able to scratch 20 minutes. Because again, I didn't really have a crazy amount of food, but just trying to eat slower. It's a good thing. I can eat really fast, but it's just wasteful because the body can't really process the nutrients as well. So, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really intentionally doing it either. I guess after a while you build the habit, and you just you figure that out. I don't know. What else? What can you say? Now, anyways, I was pretty happy with last episode. It started off a little rough, a little shaky, but it ended pretty interesting. I don't know, that whole riff about, I don't know. I don't even remember. No, no. See, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's so difficult for me, because my brain's muscle is eroded. Like, probably in a perfect world, I would do a recap every episode, but my brain's just too fried. It's messed up. It's a shame, because technically following my philosophy, I guess I'm not even good enough for my philosophy, because I don't remember everything, especially not every word I say, but technically I probably should cherish these moments, because, you never know what could end up happening. If I got laid off or something, then, I'd be able to talk more, but it wouldn't, my whole life would be upended pretty much temporarily. It would be a very stressful situation, so you just try to muscle through, I guess. I don't know. But for the time being, like, these moments and me putting in the effort to talk and stuff, I really feel like I should process that. That should be something that, I really process and take a pretty good amount of care in doing, I suppose. I think that should make sense to hear. So, yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting all right now. I don't know. I'm just saying random stuff at this point. The day goes by like rapid speed, though, on these days. Like, man, my brain is like prepped for long shifts, It's like really prepped for them. It's weird, I know, saying that, but yeah, I guess time is weird for me. Like, I don't know, but some people, like, here's the problem, because it sounds like bragging. It sounds like, yeah, I'm someone who can just tear up a shift, and and like, you guys stink. You guys are whining about an 8-hour shift, man. To me, an 8-hour shift feels like nothing, like, I'm like, y'all stink, eat it, No, that's not how I'm acting, That's not how I'm acting. Because it kind of just has its pros and cons. To me, I would equate myself as the master of time. No. No, I'm not really the master of time, but I think if I had to ascribe myself an inscription, it would probably be the time master. I don't know, but no, it has its pros and cons, because yes, like, that goes by in a blur, but then free time also does, because, like, I'm constantly, and maybe I can get some kind of diagnosis with this, like, I'm constantly dialed in, like, every single second I'm dialed in. So then when it's time to be at home or to take a break, now I don't really feel a break. You know, like I feel like yeah, it's like work goes by fast, but it has this like residual linger to it. I'm always like I can't, I feel like a normal human, like they go to work and then they come home and then they're happy, they're home, they're able to just like zone out, procrastinate, whatever. I can't procrastinate about anything. You know, it's like basically everything I'm pretty much always aware of. Like, I'm not free. I don't feel free. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel very stuck to different things. And so, yeah, it's like, it's a big issue, you know? It's a huge, big, fat issue. That's all it is. A huge, big, fat issue. And so, yeah, I don't really know how else to describe it. But it's just a huge, big, fat issue. That's all it is. So there you go. All right, episode over. Yeah, no, no, but it's because I always like. I feel like I just always see the true. Like people don't. People just think it's like it's all good, but there's no like freedom in that. I mean, I'm not human. You know, it's like I'm foreign from a human psyche. So it makes it so difficult, because even with me when it comes to talking communication, I mean, when I start talking, it's like, bam, 6.5 minutes already passed. I hardly even noticed it. I mean, it's just kind of, I just kind of like zone out and like lose consciousness. It's crazy. It's it's crazy talk, you know? It's just crazy talk, man. And so not everybody does that, but then I feel like most people can just get more enjoyment out of things. It's like easier for a lot of people to satiate their minds. It's just a completely different, just a whole different thing. I don't know. Everything comes with its pro and con, you know? But it still hurt. Like, I mean, I think a 12-hour shift is when it starts to get yucky. For me, that's really probably my limit. I don't, I mean, it would depend on the drive home. I mean, maybe I could do a 13, but it just starts to get pretty rough after that, you know? So I do agree with that, but an 8-hour like feels like pretty nice. Like, I don't know, to me that seems pretty nice. I'm able to do it. But again, I think that most people, they just feel the moment they're in and kind of what's right in front of them. So when they're at work, they're probably in more pain than I am. But then when they get home, they're in like more pleasure or something like that. That's at least what I'm trying to tell myself. But yeah, I mean, all the time, man, I just miss like the past and what I had in the past. I didn't know how good things were when I grew up. I grew up in such a amazing time to be a child. I mean, really, it was a good time to be a child for sure. I think all the like greatest things kind of went down in my era. So the true golden age, the last hurrah, the golden age. But obviously I believe my purpose is to be some kind of a bridge or something, some kind of a arbiter. I was going to say the head of the spear or something like that. Yeah, I think that expression works, the head of the spear. That's kind of what I think, because there's no other way to describe. The only thing is, like, there is a problem when that's your talent. It's like your talent is just being able to run your mouth. I mean, what do you do with that? The other thing too, with how I'm amazingly good at processing things that are slow, like really, you know, advanced stuff, but they're slow. But then if I need to do something fast, nope. Like, I'm just like a deer in headlights, you know? And that's just not easy to have as a skill, because you appear as though you're somebody who's just very inadequate and incompetent, which is really how I think I've appeared for most of my life, especially as a child. I mean, if you're a child, you're not doing yourself any favors if you're able to understand big concepts, because that's never really expected of you and it's not really cultivated. And it would definitely have missed the radar, you know? Especially language, being like a shy kid like myself, you don't even talk, and then, you know, nobody really notices anything, so you just kind of get dragged along for the ride, really, which is, it's why you slip through the cracks, because it's not flashy. You know, it's just not flashy. And it's also possible that just as a kid, I just wasn't that impressive, and, you know, it just took until later on to really understand talking in to the same degree that I do now. I mean, I explained how it's actually been a build-up. You know, for a long time, I really wanted to be a Let's Play YouTuber, but I had no idea how to set that up back then. I didn't really understand. I mean, there was the camera method, but that just never really, I never had a high enough quality camera for that. It's kind of a shame. You know, like if I had grown up in a wealthier household, I might have been dealing with some stuff there if I had like a really nice camera or something. You know, like I really think that would have been pretty impressive to have like a ultra high quality camera, but just didn't have access to that. Just was dealing with cheap stuff. So in some cases, yeah, I mean, it's a shame because of course now you have access to such amazing cameras, like easy, you know, like easy, just the stuff in like pretty cheap phone now would have been able to record the kind of stuff that I wanted to record. You know, but back then it just wasn't the case. The tech just was not there, so I just couldn't do anything about it. I had like my iPod 4 trying to record my DS screen, and it just did not come out right. It was just such a disaster, really. But now it would have been no problem. So there was always some kind of restriction in my life, you know, for whatever reason. And especially my futuristic or scientific mind, you know, was definitely heavily restricted. And now that I'm like, it's like finally beginning to flourish a little bit. Now that I'm older, now that I'm freer, you know, but it's still, I mean, so yeah, I mean, you miss the cracks. You slip through the cracks when you're at this type of a brain or a mind, but for the future, it's arguably the most important, and I think I've explained that. Like, my kind of mix of things for the future is going to be insanely important. A language forward, but still competent in math, is like the ultimate concoction for AI communication, really. You know, it just is. And yeah, like I guess I can repeat that statement. It's, like language first, language being your primary genius, but still having math, because you don't meet a lot of people who love numbers and language. I mean, I never meet anybody like that. And so I may not be the best, you know, like I might not be the absolute best, but it's like I'm pretty competent. I'm pretty competent at like basic math, any math that's like important or would be necessary for just regular kind of stuff. Like I'm pretty competent. And then on top of that, my language, I think just basic metrics like vocabulary and cadence and presentation. I mean, it comes quick, like it's good. It's especially for someone who, like, I'm way undereducated. I mean, I have to outline just how poorly I even knew myself or anybody read me or knew. Like, my whole life, people have just been reading me way wrong. I've been like trying to be someone I'm not, and nobody was guiding me in the correct direction. I guess it's just good that I realize what I realize now, but seriously, when I was first in high school, the first honors, I did all 3 honors except for English. Isn't that crazy? I did every honors class except for English. And then, of course, I think I only did that for 2 years, and then I just dropped all of them because at the time I was like really depressed and I just had absolutely no, like, everything just didn't make any sense to me. And I see that now that, now that I'm older, I know why. And if I would have been growing up in the future, I probably would have been really happy. Like, if I was born like right now, or actually, if I was born like 20 years from now, I think I would be pretty happy. If I was born right now, no, I think it would be kind of terrible. I mean, it's hard to say because the future hasn't happened yet, but I think I'm very grateful that I'm the age I am right now. Like, because if I was born, I think I'm good where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I'm good where I'm at. So we just don't take that for granted, I suppose. What was I talking about before that? Man, I forget. That's a shame. That's really a shame. That always happens. That's kind of why I wish I had a live transcript to look at for when I do forget, because that would be a huge help, but I just haven't looked into getting that kind of an app, and I like this app, and the live transcript probably uses a lot more power or whatever. Anyways, man, I really wish I remembered what. Oh yeah, but that's the thing is, I picked English as the thing I shouldn't be. I kind of never knew where I was, because I like, when people ever ask that question about math or English, like, because they usually say that it's like you're either like a math or science brain or a social studies or language arts brain, and it's like I could never really figure out that answer, and I realize why now, because it's that I'm both, but I'm not like exceptional in either. You know what I mean? But I'm above average. Like, it's not like, I would say I'm more above average in language, but in both I'm definitely above average, but it's just nothing spectacular. It's very like realistic, real world, kind of regular math. It's nothing that really is that crazy for school. Like, in school, you're dealing, like, if you're a math genius, you're going to be like doing these crazy math things that they don't really matter. But in terms of real world math, like, I'm always the best. I'm great at like just regular math, not anything too advanced or too crazy. You know what I mean? So, but that's the thing, is it's just not common for somebody to like both. It's just very uncommon. And when you don't, like, the system is not made to see that. Like, if you took all my intelligence and specialized it into just math or just language, that would have shown more in school and I would have been way more successful. But what it's doing now is, in the AI age, I think I'm going to land on the bullseye. Because again, and I keep saying this theory of language first, but still very above average math, is really going to be the AI era of calculation, because AI will be able to cut up the rest of the slack once you just hit those 2 minimums. And I'm really in a good situation for that, So I'm trying to keep my hopes high, even though a lot of times they're low. I still have thoughts about, like, oh, what if I end up in the streets or something, and I'm still just thinking about that today. Like, man, I am stressed. I am not happy with this material world one bit, and I still feel like I used to think I was never going to amount to anything. I was never going to have a job. I was going to be homeless. At least now I'm amounting to something, So I guess I'm feeling pretty good about that, but I can't lie, it's still kind of lingers in my mind, you know? Still kind of affects me to some extent that, like, I still fear that I'm going to be homeless or something, because if tech doesn't sweep through fast enough, I'm toast. I'm definitely just going to be toast. So trying to be hopeful, trying to keep my head up, but you know, I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do if that actually happens. But we will see. I suppose we will see. Anyways, it has been schla, but now it's time to buy schla. So, see you, schla.